Hey everybody, what's up? Benji Pistone here, representing Hamilton. How are you doing today? Just chilling here. Gonna hit you guys off with another movie. This is Movies Review. I'm just chilling here in my room. Watching Pimp My Ride. You guys remember Pimp My Ride with Exhibit, where it takes a person's shitty ass car and puts a makeover on it, does a makeover on it, right on. Yeah. So anyways, here we go with another video, another review. Once again, digging through my DVD collection and just reviewing some movies. Okay. So anyways, these two movies that I'm gonna be showing, that I'm gonna be reviewing today, is are two of my favorite movies from the 80s. Now, I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys. Like, I'm actually glad that I did not grow up in the 80s, you know what I mean? I was born in 77, and I was mostly a kid when I was in the 80s, but as far as my teenage years goes, I grew up in the 90s, and I'm actually glad, you know, because looking back in the 80s, like for example, I watch a movie like Hot Tub Time Machine, and you know, where they go back to the 80s, and looking at all the stuff that went down in the 80s, you know what I mean? I thought to myself, man, I'm glad I didn't grow up in the 80s, because the 80s was not my favorite decade, you know what I mean? And yeah. No, you know, like, if you, like, no disrespect to any of you who did grow up in the 80s, that's cool. That's cool. If you love the 80s, that's cool. But me, you know, I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. But anyways, from my DVD collection, I just want to show you two of my favorite 80s movies from the 80s, and these are just absolute classics. And I'm just gonna show the two of them, and of course, it's not just me who loves these movies, a lot of people do. But first off, we're gonna hit you. Of course, you got this classic from the 80s, The Breakfast Club, and another classic, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I love these two movies. They're just awesome, okay? So let's start off with Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This one over here. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, starring Matthew Broderick. Okay, came out in 1986. This movie is awesome. To tell a quick story about it, Matthew Broderick, who plays Ferris Bueller, he fakes a illness because he doesn't want to go to school. He doesn't want to go to school this day. So what happens is he fakes an illness. His parents buy it. They believe him, and so he ends up staying home from school. Ends up playing hook. He ends up ditching school. You know, hooking up with his friend, his buddy Cameron. Remember Cameron? You guys remember Cameron? You know, hey, bada swing bada. You remember Cameron? And of course, hanging out with his girlfriend Sloane. That, I don't know. I kind of forgot who played Sloane in this movie, but she was fucking hot, man. She really was. I really liked that girl. She was really cute. And yeah, the three of them, they ditch school. They just have a good time, you know, going to the city, which is in Chicago, just doing all this crazy stuff. But then Ferris has the principal of the school, who's doing his best, trying to catch Ferris, and trying to catch Ferris, and the one big thing that he's trying to do is finding out that finding out that Ferris has been ditching a lot of school, and what he wants to do is that he wants to keep Ferris back another year so he wouldn't graduate on time. Such a classic movie, such a good time, you know. This is actually a special edition DVD over here. The Bueller edition. Remember Ben Stein when he plays the teacher when he's taking the attendance. Bueller. Anyone? Classic movie. I love this movie a lot. But of course, this movie over here, you know, is The Breakfast Club. This movie is, out of all the movies that came on in the 80s, this is my absolute favorite. You know, it's such an all-star cast. You know, you got Judd Nelson, you got Emilio Estevez, Molly Ringwald. Molly Ringwald is so friggin' hot. Actually, tell you a story about Molly Ringwald's character right over here. Molly Ringwald's character, her name is Claire, and I actually went to school. With this girl, and she looks exactly like Molly Ringwald. She's got the red hair like she has, and ironically enough, her name is Claire. And what can you do, man? What can you do? And yeah, and the story takes place in this high school, and during a Saturday, and what they have to do on a Saturday is that they have to actually go to school to serve a detention that they do in the library, and in the beginning, all of them they didn't really know each other. I mean, they went to the same school and they see each other like in the hallways, but as far as friends or companions is concerned, they never really knew each other, you know. And they all have different personalities, you know what I mean? Like you got Emilio Estevez's character, who's he's the jock, you know. Anthony Michael Hall's character, he's the nerd, you know, the straight A student. You know, Molly Ringwald's character, Claire, she's like Miss Popular, you know, like all that. And my favorite character is actually played by Judd Nelson over here. He plays a character. His name is John Bender, and he's like the bad boy, the outlaw. Like he's one of those guys that if he does not get his life straight, he's not going to go anywhere in life. So he's one of so different personalities. Like they're not the same. And in the end, you know, spending this Saturday together, the three of them, they become friends. All of them, they become friends, and a couple of relationships bloom in this movie. You know what I mean? So I love this movie. Like, this movie is awesome. You know what I mean? You know, classic movie. You know, to watch. So yeah, so that's it, and yeah, oh yeah, and both of these movies are actually directed by a guy by the name of John Hughes, and he pretty much did a lot of movies in the 80s. Not only did he do these two movies, but he also did other movies like 16 Candles, all those teenager movies from the 80s. He pretty much directed them all. And unfortunately, a few years ago, he passed away. So yeah, he was a brilliant director. He made great movies. All right. So, anyways, my two favorite movies from my least favorite decade of the 80s. You know, whatever. Ferris Bueller's Day Off and The Breakfast Club. I love these movies. You know, and honestly, for all you youngins out there, for all you youngins who are in high school right now, if you're checking this out, you need to check out these two movies if you've never seen them before, because they're great. Alright? Okay, guys, so that's it. Once again, subscribe, comment down below. I'm Benji Pistone. Take care, guys.